Hello, hello, it's Marshall. Thank you very much for tuning in to the show. It's Saturday night and feelings right or something. I don't know. How's it going, folks? Hope you guys had a good week. Hope you're having an even better weekend. And yeah, I'm Marshall. All my synths are turned off. You can see it's like I had a power outage, but not really, because basically everything's turned off because for the last 2 weeks, this is the third week, I've been working on a Roland Cloud only track. And basically I've created some progressive trance, I guess you would call this. Kind of old school style. I think it's sounding pretty cool. And so this week I've tried to kind of find another kind of little melody to add towards the end. And I've designed a sound in the System 8, System 8. And I'll go through that a little bit here in just a few minutes. But first, let's just kind of go through the track and see how it sounded. All right, so here we go. I will mute my face so you guys can hear all the goodness. And then I'll go through some of the new stuff. And then we'll keep working on a few things because this thing still needs a good amount of work. But here we go. beat. Okay, anyway, so it just kind of trails out for mixing purposes for DJs. Anyway, give shout out to the chat. We got Dos Goss in the house, and we've got John Richardson. How's it going, guys? Dos Goss is asking how is life in the new home? It's pretty freaking awesome. I can't say enough cool things and good things, and I don't know what that means, but yeah, it's been really good, actually. It's hot as shit out here, but got some nice AC going, and yeah, it's pretty nice. So I'm wondering what it's going to be like in the wintertime, actually, if it cools down a little bit more. I'm hoping it'll just kind of average around in the 70s. That would be kind of nice. It was funny, like when I was shopping for houses out here, my realtor was taking me around, and I was telling her, oh yeah, I'm from Colorado, you know, and she goes, she was saying something about how it gets cold out here, and I'm like, oh yeah. She's like, yeah, it can get all the way down into the 40s. And I just started laughing. I'm like, yeah, that's not that cold. Anyway, yeah, thanks. Daskas saying great sound and tune. Thank you. So yeah, we'll let's take a look at kind of the thing I've been working on here, which is right here. This is System 8. And again, so kind of the rules as a loose term here with this. I'm using all Roland Cloud plugins except for the kick drum, which is a kick 2. It's the kick 2 plugin instead of 909 or 808. We'll see. I mean, I may still change that at some point, but for right now, we're going to stick with the way it sounds. Anyway, so I took this kind of smoky lounge patch and modified this actually a good amount. So oh, and I've got these split, so hold on, let me center this for a second so you can kind of hear what's going on. So the cool thing about something like the System 8 is over here, okay, Windows. Over here on the left-hand side in the LFO section, it's cool because you have a fade-in time for when the LFO actually kicks in. And you can control the filter and the amp envelope amount. So and then you can sync this to specific value here. Right now it's synced to 16th notes. So when I hit a key, here, that's the LFO kicking in, adjusting a little bit of the filter and more of the amplitude. Sorry, I should turn my phone down just in case, because apparently people are trying to text me at 11 o'clock at night. That's all right. So anyway, then I came up with this little melody that I thought kind of worked all right here. So it's something like, let's see. And that kind of complements the main little plucky lead thing that I've got going on, the Alice DJ type sound. So I need to do a few things. So I think this sound is going to work okay. And I need to fix a couple of things. So first of all, we could see here. So I played like a whole couple measures worth of melody there, and then kind of chopped up the sections in the track for the different instances, and that's looking good. Hey Mike, we got Mike in the house. Mike says prefer hardware over plug out. Got a Jupiter 50. Windows behave. Yeah, the neighbors. I haven't even met my neighbors yet. I need to go over and say hi. I'm Marshall. How are you? If I'm really loud, please come tell me and don't call the police. Yeah. Actually, we're good distance away from each other, so I don't... Hopefully I'm not that loud. Although I'm probably pretty loud. Anyway, yeah, so Mike, I totally get that. I like hardware too, but the cool thing about like the Roland Cloud, in my opinion, is it's got a good variety of classic Roland synths, plus things like the System 8, which is something I don't have, but with the plugin, I kind of have it, you know. Anyway, it's just kind of adding to the toolbox, so to speak. And I just figured that since they've added a bunch of new stuff, it'd be kind of fun to try and make a track with basically almost all Roland Cloud stuff. I'm really itching to try and put in like some vocoder or use like this thing. This guy right here for some vocals. Circuit bent speak and read. I also got a speak and math that's been circuit bent. I don't know what it can say or do, really. I just kind of saw it and bought it as an impulse kind of buy. It wasn't that much money, which was nice. But anyway, like, maybe after I've completed the song, I could add a few little bells and whistles like that just for fun. So, but yeah, I totally get that. Love my hardware. Obviously, I have thousands of dollars into it. But same kind of deal with the plugins, actually. I have a pretty wide selection of plugins that is quite expensive as well. So yeah, sorry, I'm just going through. I'm going to try and fix this because a couple of these notes, I obviously didn't play these perfect, which is fine, but I need to make sure they will trigger when they get played. Oops. Yeah, circuit bending is super cool. And I don't know if you guys watch Simon the Magpie. He does a lot of circuit bending on his channel. Obviously, Look Mum, No Computer. Same kind of thing. That guy, the Look Mum, No Computer guy is really blowing up right now. I saw he had a TED Talk recently about procrastination, which was hilarious. I recommend you guys check that out if you haven't already. Lots of cool, very talented people here on YouTube in the synth world, synth and music production world. It's really cool to see people grow and do cool things. Oops, I'm like totally screwing this up. So anyway, let me see, what's this? Yo, yeah. Mike saying, did I see Look Mom, No Computer Circuit bend the digital Bible? I did. That was hilarious. I think somebody had challenged him to do it, saying it was impossible to circuit bend that thing, and then he did. Which just is a testament to his skill set. Like, and the funny thing is, like, I've always liked electronics, but I've never been very good at messing with them. Normally, if I crack something open that's got electronic bits in it, I usually end up ruining it. So, mad respect. But yeah, and he does like he's built like synthesizers basically, which is really cool. He had that 100 oscillator module, or yeah, this super talented guy. He actually, the funny thing too is he looks like one of my good buddies. Very similar face. It's not a redhead, my friend, but like very similar shaped face. If you guys saw him, you'd be like, dude, is that like his little brother? It's funny. And he's a big ham as well. My buddy is. So I showed him some of his videos. I was like, dude, you look like this kid. This kid looks like you. Separated at birth, perhaps. All right, so let's see. So we're going to duplicate this. I'm going to group these tracks together. And I'm going to jump in here and pull out my processing. So I'm almost at the point where pretty much things are really starting to shape up on this tune. So once I get most of the stuff how I want to have it sounding, I will I'll start going through and I'll kind of, right now this is kind of a rough mix, so I think it's sounding pretty good, but I'll go back through and pull all the faders down, start bringing stuff up, adjusting compressors and EQs and things like that to get it sounding as good as I can. And sometimes that's one of the longest processes for me, is trying to get the mix to sound as good as possible. Yeah, that's always a lot of fun. It requires listening to something over and over again on many different sound systems with reference tracks and all kinds of stuff. Yeah. So, Mike says he's working on a Kraftwerk melody with his Behringer vocoder. Yeah, man, you're going to have to throw that up on YouTube so I can hear what you come up with that. That VC, was it the VC340? I can't remember what that's called. The Behringer vocoder. Yeah. Yeah, VC340, right? And it's like a clone of the VP330, something like that. Oh, yeah, Mike's still in the process of watching the video I did with Jamie. So, for those of you folks who are not aware, the first Sunday of every month, I've been invited by Geosynth, Jamie at Geosynth, the Geosynth's YouTube channel, to do kind of a live video podcast on his channel. And I'm joined with another YouTuber named Imperfect. And we kind of talk about the news of the day, synthesizers, music, all that kind of stuff. Kind of like, it's a lot of fun. And Jamie's a very talented sound designer with an impressive synth collection as well. Imperfect, very talented guy as well, and knows his synths. So it's a lot of fun getting to hang out with those guys for about an hour or two. And you guys should check it out if you haven't. So I think this... Was it last Sunday? Last Sunday, I think. Yeah, last Sunday would have been the first Sunday of August. So that was the second time I've been on his channel. I'm going to try and line up something with him as well to see if I can get him to come on my channel for an interview, because I'm curious about how he got started and learn about his, learn a little bit more about him. And I think that would be a fun thing to do. So we'll see if we can talk him into that at some point. Yeah, so Mike said Jamie did some sick sounds on the Moog one. He did such a good job with his sound pack that I guess Moog asked him to do a special pack, like a vintage sounds type pack. And when they pushed out the 1.1 firmware, they put out that pack, which was really cool. So that was all his work. So yeah, that says something about his sound design skills. Yeah. Okay, let's see. What do we got going on here? But yeah, Mike, you're going to need to post... when you post that stuff up, I think I follow you. I should if I don't. I guess I'll have to turn notifications on, huh? All right, let's see if I can get this sounding how it should sound. Oh, I think this I need to take out. think I need to do. I need to come in here. Okay, let's see what that does. Okay, well, that is better. Part of the problem when you duplicate your tracks like this, you have to keep doing that. Okay, let's make sure that doesn't mess up this part. Okay, so Doscos is asking for links. So hold on, let me get you a link to the last show with Geosynths. And he's cool. So like every week sometimes he's by himself, sometimes he has other guests on. But he will usually cover news topics of the day. And it's a good time. I'm trying to find, I think it's this. Yeah, this is it here. All right, here's the... Pop this in the chat for you there, Doscos. That was from... Well, it's the Synth Show, episode 22. When did he publish that? August 4th. Okay. Strings and vocal ooze. And the ahs on the Behringer Epic 70s. Yeah. I could definitely see that. It sounds like they did and this is one of the cool things about Behringer. Like, they are just nailing these clones. Like, they sound so much like the originals. And they're a fraction of the cost. And I know that irritates some people. And I can understand why in certain instances. But you can't fault them, I mean, for doing a good job. We should all be happy about that, honestly. I'm excited for the 808 and the 909 from them. Well, the RD8 and RD9. And then the Crave, I think. So those three are probably of the newest lineup, probably since I'll end up getting. I still have my DeepMind 12. It's in the box still. I still need to get like another rack to set up some of these other synths. So some of them are still in the box, like the Ion's still in the box, DeepMind 12. A couple of them are still in their boxes, waiting to be unpacked. But I had like a set of shelves at my old place that were, I made those with plexiglass and some lights and stuff. I think I'm just gonna get a regular synth stand for over in the corner over here, and yeah, but I haven't done that yet. Moving's expensive, so can't do everything all at once. Yeah, let's see how that sounds here. So I'm gonna go back up and play a few scenes ahead and see how this is matching up. Here would be cool to have some speak and read vocal stabs going through. Dude, we got Imperfect in the house, dude. Were your ears burning? Because I was just talking about you and Jamie saying, hey, check out the synth show, JB's synth channel. That's funny. Anyway, thanks Imperfect for dropping by, man. That's cool. Cool to have you in here. You were watching Backdraft? Oh, that's the firefighter movie, right? Was that the 90s? Is that a 90s film? Are you 90s filming out on us, Sarah? Imperfect? I don't... it's been such a long time. I was watching Days of Thunder the other day. Because it was on... apparently YouTube has movies on their platform now that you can watch for free. And I subscribe to YouTube so I don't have to watch commercials and shit. And I think that's part of the premium, YouTube Premium or whatever. So yeah, I was like watching Days of Thunder, which I hadn't watched in like, I don't even want to say how many years. like a lot of years. And 4K. 1991. Holy cow. Was that the same year the first Batman came out? Was that 91 or 90? I was like, remember when Batman came out? I think I was like 10. The Tim Burton Batman. Oh, that's hilarious. Backdraft. I'll have to. Now you're making me want to go watch some old movies now. I was on like an 80s movies kick for like a long time. And some old school 90s stuff had started popping up, like I said, on YouTube. And so I watched that. I watched Dances with Wolves like a couple weeks ago, which I remember when that movie came out, people were like freaking out thinking it was like the greatest movie ever. And it's like 3 hours long. And it's funny when you watch something as a kid and then you grow up and you watch it. Like, I probably haven't seen Dances with Wolves since I was a kid. So it's kind of fun to go back and revisit that. If you've got like 3.5 hours or however long that movie is. But it's a Kevin Costner movie. He was in like everything in the 90s, wasn't he? Seems like he was. Anyways. Yeah. So, all right, let me go through. And I need to re-record the section with those in here, which is down here. Oh, that's not what's supposed to happen. There we go. I think I have a way to maybe fix that. Maybe try, oops, that is the SH2. Where's system 1? So this already has like an ass load of release. We could try cranking this up a little bit more. Yeah, we might need to just extend that a little bit. I don't know how to do it from arrangement view. I should probably figure that out one of these days. We could just extend our clip. Something like there. There we go. Yeah, so Imperfect saying that the System 1 and System 8 are seriously good synths. So underrated. I've the System 1, I can understand like people's desire to maybe not buy that because it's small. It was kind of like the form factor is kind of odd, and I know that they were going for the whole era theme, and with the TR8, that thing, the TB3, like they all kind of had the same kind of styling. I didn't really like the styling, and I think that's what really has kept a lot of people away from that. The System 8, which is sad. I mean, you shouldn't really, well, I guess it's up to you, honestly. If you want to not buy something because it looks hideous, that makes sense. Even though it may be a great instrument, but yeah, I think that's really what kind of held that back. And the System 8 I thought was way better in terms of design, and I just wish it had the ability to. I think it's got two kind of hard built-in plug outs, right, with the JP8, the Jupiter 8, and the Juno 106, and then a third one that I guess you could put one of the other plug outs in there. I don't know if you can replace the other two, but it would be cool to be able to switch out all three of those, or have like 4 or 5 slots. Like, you know, maybe on the next one, if they do another iteration of that, maybe that'll be something that they add. I don't know. The System 8's like very capable. It's a very capable synth with a very Roland sound, and you know, they keep updating it. Like they just added FM to it. Well, I don't think they just added that. It's been out for a while, but the fact that they're continuing to give updates on that's really good. I wish that they wouldn't have stopped with the V-Synth, honestly. I thought the V-Synth was amazing. Then they came out with the Jupiter 80 and the Jupiter 50, and I was like, why did you call those Jupiters? Like, I did not understand why they did that. Well, I mean, I understand why they did that, but I don't think that they should have done that. But, you know. Yeah, I wonder what the System 8s are going for used right now, actually. Let's check Reverb. Oh, by the way, I think we might have mentioned this on the Synth show with Jamie, but Reverb was bought by Etsy. Etsy's like an arts and crafts like website, so I think that's what it is. Hopefully Reverb doesn't go down the toilet, because Reverb is between Reverb and eBay, I'm like, I always kind of have, even though I may not buy anything for a while, I have kind of certain specific items that I can set to notify me when there's new versions of them, or new, you know, people post instruments to sell. And I've bought a few things off there. The Nord Wave, the Andromeda I bought off there. What else? MIDI keyboard. This I've bought several things off there, and it's been pretty great. Normally, though, I did notice sometimes you'll see a little higher pricing on Reverb, but it's such a it's such a niche kind of site with only musical instruments on it. Like, a lot of times you can find really good, not beat up, you know, instruments, so to speak. I bought like my JD 990 I bought off of eBay, and it came here trashed. It literally came here with the box basically falling apart. The rack ears were all bent up on it. Yeah, that was not fun. System 8. Here we go. See, it's like a new one. Where's the used ones? It's like, here's one in very good condition for $1,200. I don't know, probably if it's in like immaculate shape, that may be it. Oh, it comes with a bag too. Yeah, I'd say like $1,100, $1,000, something like that for a used one makes sense to me. And then I don't know how much the plug outs cost, but I guess if you have Roland Cloud, which you pay $20 a month, you get all of their plug outs and can just load up. This one, I don't know about. Sometimes the pictures these people take, it's like they take it as like with a 20-year-old phone. I don't know. Anyway. Yeah, I love reverb. I hope it doesn't get all screwed up. I hope Etsy just kind of leaves them alone. And that way we can still have a good site to go buy synths from. Used synths. In fact, I think the Summit, I'd like to get a Summit, but I don't think I want to buy a new one. Like, I'll probably wait till that's used and maybe grab one secondhand after a year or two when everyone's kind of moved on from that. Because I think I've heard like really good things about the Peak, and the one thing about the Peak that I never really liked was there was no keyboard. Now there's the Summit with a keyboard, and it's twice the synth. But I think that prioritizing what I plan to get this year is important, and I think I really want Super 6, and I just got the Andromeda, and I want to try and get a River. And who knows what else? So KnobCon's coming up. Last year, Behringer dropped the 909 news at KnobCon. If I remember right, at least they had a prototype of it there, of just the shell. So I'm going to KnobCon this year, and you guys should too. If you aren't, then I will have coverage of the show. But you should go, say hi, and mingle with synth nerds like myself. Anyway, so you never know what's going to come out. And this is kind of the slow time. Like, seems like September might get a surprise. Roland's been very quiet lately with a lot of stuff. I mean, they've been pushing the cloud stuff. But you never know what they've got cooking in the kitchen. Like, you remember a couple years ago, they just dropped the SEO2 and everybody about shit themselves? Yeah. So you never know. Perfect asking where's KnobCon. It is in Chicago and Schaumburg at the Hyatt. I think it's a Hyatt in Schaumburg. KnobCon. Let me find it for you. So it's a 3-day event. It's from September 6th to the 8th. And it's put on by Suit and Tie Guy, who I have interviewed on my channel, so you guys are not aware of him. He produces synth modules, and he puts on this event every year. Let me bring this over here. KnobCon number 8. It's got all the it's like a NAMM, but like it's really synth specific, if that makes sense. And I'm trying to find, what does it say where the location is? Yeah, Hyatt Regency. And you get, if you buy, like, if you have to stay at a hotel, which obviously I will, you get a discounted rate on the room if you book through their thing. And yeah, it's a nice hotel. It's in a nice part of Chicago. Like, I'd gone to Chicago in 2012 with some of my pals, and it was an interesting time. And we were like right in downtown, and I was not a big fan of that area. We were just constantly harassed and almost got in a couple of fights. And yeah, I was like, Chicago sucks, man. But yeah, this isn't like a nice area. It's not it's not the city where you're gonna get beat up on the train, because we almost got beat up on the train. Well, I don't think we would have got beat up, but we almost had a big fight on the train in Chicago. Yeah, I feel you there, Imperfect. It's, to travel, depending on how far away you are, it can get a little pricey. But it's definitely worth going if you can afford it. I met a few people that recognized me from YouTube last year. And if you watch Synth Mania's channel, he did a live show there, and I'm standing there with my girlfriend while he's jamming out. He had such a good show, and that was a lot of fun. And I met Suit and Tie Guy there. He was obviously had his hands full, but we reconnected on Facebook later on, and I interviewed him on the channel. And lots of very cool people, lots of cool events to do. They had build your own synth type stuff going on in the downstairs area. There was a whole visual arts thing going on. So it'd be interesting. I haven't looked too closely to see what's going on this year. Oh, they had a special guest that was the guy that invented FM or something. FM synthesis is going to be there. Maybe I'm not remembering correctly. I think they're going to have Anyway, here, I'll post this in the chat so you guys can check this out. Anyway, it's a good time. You guys should go if you can. I highly recommend it. I guess it's kind of like our super booth. Super booth's only synths, but in Europe, I think, right? Oh yeah, that's the other synth that I'm planning to get this year if it comes out this year. That's the Kira, the Waldorf Kira. That's been on pre-order pretty much since I could tell my guy that I order from, I want that. Yeah, they know. So, and I've got this sitting right here, which I haven't done anything yet with, but Uno drum. And I have a TR8S that I haven't even unboxed. I bought it before I moved, and it is still in the box. So, man, so many problems, right? I got so many sins. Poor Marshall. No, very lucky, but... Yeah, he had Perfect saying Synthmania killed it. He had a monologue, as I recall, and something else I can't remember. Yeah, he had a monologue, and God, I don't remember either. But I have a video on his rig. Let's go back to my playlist. I've got a whole NomCon playlist from last year. Where's my channel? Here we go. And he's such a nice person. He gave me a shout out, when YouTube was kicking everyone in the dick who didn't have 1,000 subscribers. And yeah, I mean, he gave my channel a shout out. Thanks to Dosgas for reaching out to him for that, which got me a nice bump in subscribers. Just a really genuinely nice man he is. Oh yeah, here we go. Let's see. Let's look at what he had.
Here with Paulo. How's it going, sir?
Hey, Marshall.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you in person.
In person.
Yeah.
Hey, so Paulo, you're going to be performing.
Oh yeah, that's
here
a circuit. I think he has a circuit.
You want to walk us through your little rig real quick?
Absolutely. It's a very small rig because I had to travel with it.
Yep.
So all I have is this Korg micro station, and it's a 61 key micro keys, and it's doing the pads and the strings and that sort of slow sounds.
Yep.
And then the heart of the gig really is this Novation circuit, which is the main sequencer, and then it's got a couple of synthesizer modules in here and 4 tracks of drums. And then you got a chord monologue, that does the
and then he has a
bass lines
pedal
and the lead
over there.
lines. And these 2 are synced via MIDI.
Okay.
And then I'm going to sing a couple of songs. So I have a Shure SM58 that goes into that TC mic Mechanic 2.
Yeah, there you go.
Which does a little bit of everything. Does compression.
Anyway, that was his little rig that he brought. He had to fit it on an airplane, so yeah, I thought he did. Had a nice selection, kicked ass. It was a lot of fun. All right, sorry. Whew. Sidetracked. Squirrel. I forgot what we were doing on my song. Go to KnobCon. All right, let's play this through from the beginning. And actually, we're just gonna go here. I'm gonna delete all this, and we'll just re-record the whole arrangement again because I forgot what I was doing. Forget the musical, it's BS. Yeah, we can BS here. We get the other Windows computer making noise now. Thanks, Windows. Ruining streams around the world. The SH-101, the little sweepy transition effect I made without the LFO pitch modulations sounds really good. have to listen to this tomorrow. Okay. You guys are hilarious. How does one talk in octaves? The C3, C4, C5, etc. Mike, I'm too tired to wrap my head around it. Oh my god, you guys are hilarious. Okay. Oh, I was gonna ask you guys, since the Behringer VC340s come out and the STVC from Waldorf's like still MIA, do you think that thing will ever even come out, or do you think just Behringer's is taking the whole market? I want to do a pitch bend on here leading up into this. Let's see, where does this start at? I'm going to try something as an experiment. We'll see if this works. We're going to do a pitch bend sweep on this sucker. Envelope. Release. How do we do this? We just do it with MIDI? I mean, I don't think that's gonna work. It's working. Let me center this for a second so I can actually hear it. let's see what that does. Over here. I just ruined something. Alright, we have to manually set this back to 0, I think is what's going on. Holy shit, it's Mr. Basic. What's up, bud? How you doing, Mr. B? Haven't seen you on a live stream in a while, dude. You been doing those still? It's funny, Mr. Basic will stream like on a Monday in the middle of the day. And I'll be sitting there at work, working. I work at IT, so like I'm at a computer most of the time doing like remote support. And I'll see Mr. Basic's notification pop up and I'll be like, oh yeah. And I'll just watch Mr. Basic while I fix people's shit. It's awesome. That's gonna take some work still. I think this final build's got to really punch you in the nose. But that's making some progress. That's progress. So I think I'll probably finish this up this week. Next week, I don't know. We'll get back into some hardware. I think we'll finish this track up, and I'll see if I can get it mastered in a certain amount of time. Get it put out on the label. I've still got like this weird like moving from states, and when you have a business to transfer everything. So I'm still working on all that mumbo jumbo. And I think once I get that sorted out, then I can start putting out tracks again on my label. Yeah, I think for right now here, dudes, we'll probably call it a night. So yeah, I want to say thank you to the chat room. We had Mr. Basic showing up for the win. We got Imperfect. We got Dasgas. We got Mike. We had John. John was in here earlier. I'm not sure if he's still around, but thank you, John. And I don't think I missed anyone else. But yeah, thank you all for watching. I appreciate you guys checking out the channel. I know it's late, and hopefully you guys can go have a good rest of your weekend and a good week coming up. And I'm gonna finish this track. I've had some requests to do bass comparison between the Moog 1 and the Mini Moog. My Mini Moog, I was checking it out the other day because I was planning to maybe start a video on that, but it is out of tune. So, and I've not had to tune it since I had it, so I don't know if maybe something got bumped in the move. It's still fine. Like, it's definitely not. It's hard to do a comparison when one synth is not in tune and the other one is. So yeah, but I've had some requests to do that. So that'll be something I'll end up doing here pretty soon. Like I said, I got the Uno drum. I'll be checking that out. A bunch of other stuff. So we'll see what I end up coming up with next week. We'll probably just mess around with some hardware. If you guys have any requests, leave them in the comments or in the chat room, as always. So I think now I'm going to have to go watch Backdraft. Thank you very much. Oh, my chat's all messed up. Here we go. Anyway. Thanks again, guys. I feel weird, like I'm really cutting this off kind of weird. But yeah, let's just play a little bit of this while we go by. See you guys.